Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Corey Chambers.
And I'm Shirley Chan. The key numbers are 3 months and 6 months. New arrivals have to stay in shelters for 3 months, and they cannot seek work for at least 6 months.
Yeah, Pix 7's Katie Corrado live outside the Roosevelt Hotel, which is just one of many spots now trying to make room. Katie.
Corey, Shirley, good evening. The Roosevelt Hotel is going to become the 9th emergency relief center and also a one-stop shop for arriving asylum seekers to be connected with various services. The city is also working to set up temporary housing locations, some of which are being met with pushback and controversy. On top of this, there are a group of lawmakers who are trying to get rid of some legal roadblocks that say will pose problems for asylum seekers in the very near future. City contractors coming and going from the historic Roosevelt Hotel, soon to become a centralized intake center for arriving asylum seekers. Later this week, roughly 175 rooms will also be opened up for families and children. Border crossings decreased over the weekend, but it's unclear what effect that may have on New York. More than 4,200 migrants arrived in the city just last week.
We are filled to the brim.
The city is now turning to schools for shelter. 3 in Brooklyn and 1 in Staten Island will house migrants before summer vacation. At least 75 migrant men are housed in the detached gym of PS 188 on Coney Island.
I don't know anyone that thinks using schools as shelters is a good idea.
My concern is I have a 9-year-old daughter, her safety issue. I understand it's separate entrance and stuff, but you just never know.
In the meantime, local leaders are looking ahead.
Federal government could act tomorrow.
Congressman Dan Goldman is one of 13 Democratic New York lawmakers asking Washington to waive the mandatory 180-day waiting period to apply for a work permit after filing for asylum. He says getting rid of it would benefit everybody.
This would marry up the migrants who have come here seeking a better life with the employers who are desperate for work, which would then help these individuals and families get out of our city shelters and into their own housing.
Christine Quinn, who runs the largest shelter provider in the 5 boroughs, is also trying to get rid of the city's 90-day rule. It requires people to live in shelters for 90 days before even trying to find more permanent housing. Quinn says it's costing thousands of dollars per family and tying up valuable shelter space.
There rarely is a governmental step that can help people in a humanitarian way, can save money, and can address an international crisis.
And Governor Hochul is also waiting to hear back from President Biden. She wrote him a letter on Friday at
An international crisis.
And Governor Hochul is also waiting to hear back from President Biden. She wrote him a letter on Friday asking for the Department of Defense to free up resources and also help set up a migrant center in Southeast Brooklyn. Reporting live outside of the road, I'm Katie Corrado, Pix 11 News.
Katie, thank you for that live report. Meantime, the union that represents school safety